They are, in your terms, part of life, and people mostly do these things without thinking of any of the ripple effects. So when people are doing acts of great power, they are going to cross their timelines very quickly. And that, we would say, must have been a great shock for those people.
Well, the tunnel's only 30 feet in diameter, and they were down 10,000, so the chances of hitting 30 feet and 10,000 feet, it just is...
That's a good potato.
That's
a good potato, do you understand?
Yeah.
That's some good unconscious magnetism drawing people, and they would co-create that. So then why would they co-create finding a doppelganger, so to speak? Do you understand? What would it do? It would blow their consciousness wide open, do you understand?
It would challenge.
It would shatter their egos. It would shatter.
There.
It would shatter the P to an extraordinary level.
Right.
And this is what the mass consciousness is going to go through. If you cannot make peace and get that P in its own little place, or everyone's got a good P now because you ate peas at recess there, but the P is the part that loses it. When people go crazy, when they go insane, when they get dementia, when they have multiple personalities, when they have, what are all the names for all those things, dissociative identity and bipolar, all these things, the P cannot manage what's going on. And so it can't stay focused. And this is the danger of the test of these times. You need all the bodies on the planet. That is essential. All the people that are here, they help produce great amount of energy, and they help to catch and act out. The world is relatively full, comparatively, let us say. Enough. You have enough people, 7 billion. And yet, as we said earlier, they are not all of the same stature. Now, will they all ever achieve equal levels of consciousness in the same venue of life? That is the soul's journey. Any soul can change any time, but it takes great will and discipline to recognize one's folly and to pick oneself up and change. And so, irregardless of the mental capacities or the spiritual capacities of the people, as we've been emphasizing, each one emotes, each one feels, whether they want to admit it or not. You have emotions, and that emotion builds energy, and that is going to create these waves to catch the cosmic energy, and it will mix and fuse. And the stakes are high because many people will lose their mind in the process. Many people will go into deep mental confusion and despair in the next few years. This is the downside. They will lock themselves away, they will run to machines, they will live on virtual worlds, and they will die just because they are too confused as to what is taking place. While the public broadcasting systems just continue to hypnotize and propagandize people. Let's say people have to work to find the source of truth and to want it and to do something with it. And these are all timeline issues everywhere. Someone else with some timeline story.
Well, this is Bob.
Yes.
I was thinking, I don't know how much this goes with timelines, but we talked earlier about the woman, the 101-year-old woman with the horns growing out of her head.
Yes.
And the similarity with Moses. And it made me think of, there's different examples in nature and in genetics where certain things don't happen until after a long period of time. Like there's a plant called the century plant that actually takes, I think, 25 years before it blooms. And it made me wonder if there's not something in human genetics that after you reach the age of 100, then the horns would grow. And maybe Moses, maybe there was something that was more common in the old days because people lived longer. And not necessarily that that's something that's a blooming or blossoming, but something that maybe takes that long to be able to happen.
That's a very excellent thought, Bob. That's very, very good. And it's true that people used to have different time spans. There were at times on the planet when 30 was like 70 today. Life was so hard, do you understand? Mm-hmm. Marriage happened at 12, and a 12-year-old girl or 10-year-old girl was given to a 15 or 18-year-old or 20-year-old man, do you understand? Mm-hmm. And that was even too old, because by the time the person was 30, through hazard or through just poor conditions, people passed early. And unfortunately, our history tends to focus on this extreme hardship and primitivism as your history, and that is not the case. There were many batches and types of people on the planet, and let's say obviously those who, having horns growing out of their head, had some connection with the Pleiades. Do you understand? That is the sign of the bull, and we've taught you over the years that the bull is the consort to the goddess. And the bull is the one that was slain all the time. And it was Poseidon, if you recall in your history, that performed the bull sacrifice over the laws in Atlantis. Similar to then the story of Moses. Watch for more anomalies, strange things that will open.
Well, Peace,
yes.
Uranus is getting ready to go into Aries, and I think it's going to affect even long-standing situations that have been going on. Will go to ramp up to a whole another level
of confrontation. Yes. Yes.
I just got an idea when you were talking about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict that I never considered before, that maybe the whole reason there's such conflict there is because that's such a power point on the earth, and by constantly creating conflict there, they're programming the whole rest of the earth and sending that energy everywhere else. That's sort of like a focal point or a broadcast point.
Just up the road from the Great Pyramid, the great broadcaster.
Uh-huh.
Yes, and remember, Bob, years ago when you gave us a globe that was all mapped out,
yes,
in all those spots? Well, it'd be good to, our vehicle pulls it down every once in a while, and you look at those spots, the vortex spots, and you can see that events happen around at these times. And where the energy is more fertile, we'll use that term, around the planet in terms of energy points, then of course more people are drawn there. And if more people are drawn to that area, then there's more emotionality and there's more stuff that happens. And then one can build on top of it and build on top of it. Let's take a jump now, because Uranus in Aries is also going to mean a whole new aggressive revelation of technology. The technology is coming to a brand new aggressive go after it level. And it will be interesting, because many of these revolutionary people who want freedom will make the very big mistake of thinking that the new technologies are going to offer them freedom to do things. The level of surveillance is so sophisticated that you might want to question the ladybugs. Do you understand?
Uh-huh.
Now, we've taught you over the years that as the times ripen, so too will your abilities. And it may sound like a bit of a joke now, question the ladybug, but you will want to be able to discern the difference between artificial life and real life. It's been advertised and buzzed about a little tiny bit that there's, let's say, drones that are the size of birds or insects or even dragonflies and things of this nature. But let's say this. It's possible for some of these crazy people who can't keep their fingers off the buttons to unleash things that are beyond your imagining. And they have been building lifelike creatures that they can let out into the world, and you can have total surveillance without you even understanding it. Think about these things.
This is Roger.
Yes, Roger.
Even I could build one of the dragonfly. I
Well,
don't
right,
know
there
how
you
to
have
do
it.
all of that. So if I know how to do it, imagine how far they are.
Yes, yes. The technologies have gone to a level of beyond the tipping point. And again, they've been secret, they've been building, and now without consciousness, it's like a kid that knows the garage is full of toys and it won't take one toy, it just wants to open the garage and pull out every toy and cover the whole driveway and then leave them there. Do you understand? This is the mentality that is behind it.